I guess in a lot of ways, tonight is what you would expect of a season opener. There were stretches where I thought we played really, really well, and then there were some where I thought we were just kind of sloppy. We got off to a fairly good start, and then I thought, when making some substitutions, we weren't as organized maybe as we needed to be. Um, and while our defense at times was pretty good, what we didn't do a good job of in the first half was finishing possessions, rebounding the ball, getting to the 50-50 balls. They had 5 3-pointers that were all as a result of them getting to an all long shot, long rebound, garnering that, or a loose ball, and then in an unsettled situation, kicking it out and knocking down a three. So we really wanted to do a better job of that in the second half. And when you play, a smaller team the way Virginia Wesleyan is, it's not going to be rebounds at the rim. They're shooting a lot of, a lot of threes, a lot of jumpers and long shots, long rebounds. Uh, uh, is kind of what happened. So in the second half, we did a much better job of finishing plays, getting out in transition. I think we saw kind of what our identity is shaping up to be, which we got out at times and just immediately cashed in. When we were able to come up with the rebounds and get out in transition, that was when we were at our best tonight, and I think that's ultimately where we are at our best. So we've got to shore up that defensive finishing possessions, and then continue from an offensive standpoint, becoming better in the half court, because we're not always going to be able to get out in transition as much as we'd like to.
You called a timeout with 11 minutes to change left in the first half. Appeared to make some very strong points with the players. What was your concern there?
Loose balls. I mean, it was nothing else. We weren't. We weren't from a defensive standpoint. We were guarding pretty well, but immediately prior to that, there had been 2 opportunities that for us, instead of diving on the loose ball and getting it right, we were trying to get it so that we could run. So they were the first to the floor. They got the ball, kicked it out, and they knocked down a three. Exactly what I was just talking about. We can't allow that. It's kind of akin to in football and a fumble. You see those guys, the big guys want to scoop it up and they want to go score. Well, the best play is just get the ball, right? Just get the ball. That's what we've got to learn to do, because what happens if you don't get that? You've played your butts off defensively, right? And then you're giving up a wide open three because it's an unsettled situation. I mean, 5 threes in that first half, that's 15 points. They scored 26, right? So if we get those loose balls, and there's no reason, it was a 50-50 ball, right? And they're called 50-50 balls for a reason. It's whoever gets down there and gets it. So that's what that timeout was about. I think we responded. That last 4 minutes, we were in a timeout with 4 minutes to go, and we stretched it out. I don't know what it was, but the group that was in there then, was able to play good defense, get stops, and get out and score pretty quickly.
What did you make of Ty Williams' play today? It seemed in the second half he really found his rhythm. Got some things going in transition.
His second half was outstanding. His first half was uh, not his best. We challenged him at halftime and talked to him about some of the things that that I saw, that we saw, and he went back out, obviously in the second half, and made up for it. I thought he played a much better second half than the first half. Gave us he was one of those guys that was in there when we got a lift, and a lot of that was when he was playing as the 4-man, I think.
Chauncey coming on in the second half, just a matter of his shots falling down, or were they doing a couple things?
I thought in the first half he was he and Vashon both were forcing a little bit. One of the things we talked about is Virginia Wesleyan. Their guards are really quick and handsy, and they do a good job of when the ball drives to the paint, they're getting in there, they're trying to strip you. They were trying to, continue attacking rather than picking it up and make the next play. I thought Chauncey waited for the opportunities in the second half and was able to, get downhill without them being able to pack the lane. Part of that, I think, was the threat of Bryce being in the corner, right? And you don't really want to help off of him. If you do, if we recognize it, he knocked down some shots out there that's going to be, again, moving forward, that's going to be critical for our success.
Last thing for me, Rico, I don't think was on the bench in the second half. Can you give us an update on what's going on with him?
No.
All right, last week when we talked, you talked about the free-flowing offense, and when it really gets going, it's just kind of a thing of beauty, and it just flows the way it should. Was there any point in the game where you felt that you were hitting that point?
Yeah, I think there were a couple stretches, and there was different guys that were in the game, at different times. But again, we're not consistent there yet. We're really, really trying. We're working on it. We're trying to, in practice. What would be the word? Do more of practice, a higher percentage of practice devoted to offense than what we had been doing. So if we were, I don't know, if we were 70-30 defense, we want to be 60-40 offense right now. We got a lot of work to do defensively, but we got a whole lot of work to do to find that consistency at the offensive end, because again, we're trying to play with there's plenty of patterns that we've got, right? But we're trying to play again with more flowing and giving guys, some freedom to do things. When we do get opportunities, we've got to convert them better than I think we had a bunch of layups that we missed tonight. We've got to do a better job of, if we're going to attack in that situation, you got to put the ball in the basket at a higher percentage.
Kind of jumping off of that a little bit in terms of the free-flowing creativity that you kind of alluded to. When it worked, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And so what is that? Is that just a matter of continuing to build chemistry with the new guys in the locker room and the system?
Yes, I think the simple answer is yes. And you just got to do repetitions, and you got to learn kind of trial and error. And, I think, some of it is guys accepting their roles. Not everybody can be a dribbler, right, at all times. And if we've had practices or segments in practices where, one guy dribbles it and then the next guy dribbles it and the next guy dribbles it, and that ain't going to work, right? We're trying to, move the ball, move people around, and then when one of those guys that, and really the four, Emo, Chauncey, Vashon, and Ty really are the guys that's where they excel, right? Looking for them to be able to attack and get downhill, force something to happen. And then, we've got Bryce and some other guys that can really take advantage, if they're going to help on those drives, their job is to make the defense pay. So again, it's trial and error. And, I think we're getting there, but we're not anywhere near as consistent as we need to be. It's new players, but it's also a new system for the guys, for these guys that are coming back. We weren't like that last year. We tried at the beginning, and then because of injuries and different things, we just didn't. Other than Chauncey, really, we didn't have anybody that really, could break down the defense off the bounce.
I did notice that multiple ball handlers running the ball in the court, even outside of a press type of scenario. Are you looking for one dominant ball handler as the season progresses to continuously bring the ball to the court? Does it not matter to you?
No, and especially in transition situations, a guy and RJ had some miscues tonight, but I think he's able to do it. But Tyrone Williams, if he gets a rebound, I mean, the fastest way for us is not stand around and looking for a guy to throw the outlet to, is get it and go. He got a little out of control once I think, but the positive outweighs the negative, and we anticipate he'll learn and be able to understand when to go and when to hold it in. But whether it's Bryce bringing the ball down, Chauncey, Emo, Vashon, whoever gets it, we can just kind of let those guys go, and the idea is to flow right into into playing, not pulling it out and calling something, but just play.
What'd you make of some of the youthful guys that got in there? Bashan, obviously, some growing pains, quite literally going through a lot of pain. How many helpers? What'd you make of the young guys?
It's a learning process. I thought there's things that Vashon can definitely learn, but there's some things he did well. He made some great passes, and he was 2 for 7. He missed a bunch of layups, seemingly three or four, but the fact that he can get there, and again, don't think, well, it's against Virginia Wesleyan. If you're able to get there against their guards, because their guards are like I said, quick, and they're really good from a defensive standpoint. Um, the fact that he's able to get there, I have a lot of confidence that he'll convert at a higher percentage.
Is Daniel good? How many shots he took to the face tonight?
Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, I'm sure he'll be a little bit sore tomorrow, but he'll live.
And we saw Emo getting treatment as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard yet exactly what that was. He may have bumped knees or done something. It was towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything serious.
Based on the win, perimeter defense is very strong tonight. Work on the flex system. How did you feel the team did in that area?
We're getting better, but we've got to help our post defense. We definitely have to help our post defense, and the players. There's no practice tomorrow, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will be going overtime on what we call Badger, but looking for opportunities to double in the post to give our guys help, so they're not down there in an island on an island. And that's been exploited a little bit. With Virginia Wesleyan, right, a D3 team, and Virginia State, a D2 team. So that's obviously not a strength of ours, and we're gonna have to figure that out, and try to shore that up so it's not such a glaring weakness.
With Dorico going out and Danny dealing with his bumps and bruises, how big was Leroy's play in that second half? It seemed like he produced more than one would expect from.
I mean, I thought he did a solid job. I mean, he's going to have to be ready to play, and he came in, he was the next man up, so to speak, and I thought he did a solid job. And again, just like everybody, there's there's plenty of things that we'll watch on film and talk to him about, but with these new guys, they're going to make mistakes, and we've got to learn from it. The only way, or the best way, not the only way, the best way is like I said, trial and error, repetitions in practice, and when they get repetitions in the game, seeing scenarios and being able to play through them and correct and improve and grow.
Bryce, how much more comfortable do you feel in year 2 coming into this thing now?
I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more comfortable on defense. Running our plays, I feel a lot more comfortable with the sets just because I got that experience. I got the upper hand on. Just feeling more comfortable in all around aspects.
Obviously, last year we saw your ability to shoot really well. Is there any place that you feel like you've grown more coming into year 2 in terms of whether it's offense or defense? It's helping you stay on the floor.
Yeah, definitely. Just help defense. When we play in man-to-man zone or just any of our zones, just playing help defense, being able to rotating. I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot better understanding our defense, understanding where to be to help my teammates when they need it. So I say definitely defensively, I've gotten a lot better, and just going to the boards, just finishing, crashing the rebounds, putting it back up as quickly as I can. Get to the line, worked on free throws a lot this summer, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
Having so many new guys, how much have you taken trying to be a leader, trying to be guys, knowing your experience in the system already probably trumps a lot of the guys here?
Definitely, me, Chauncey, Emo, Rico, everybody that's here. We standing strong for our teammates. We helping them out any way we can off the court. If they got questions, they come to us. We try to explain the best we can. Try to slow it down a little bit in practice for them, especially. So just helping them out as much as we can and just giving them tips. The best way Coach Jones likes things done. So
Did you learn anything about your team tonight?
Yeah, I feel like we can battle. We gonna battle. We gonna be a team that's gonna get you. We ain't gonna give up ever. We gonna keep battling. But on our fans got something to look forward to. We ain't gonna give up. We coming strong. So.
When Coach talked about that offense and the creativity of the offense and multiple guys being able to go downhill, how helpful is that for somebody like you who can stretch out on the perimeter?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of my games. People getting me open. So, when they drive, take away the defense, it helps a lot. You got Tyrone Williams driving the ball. He helps a lot. Vashawn, the freshman, he helps a lot too. Chauncey's gonna do his thing. Definitely helps.
In terms of the off-ball movement of the team, I heard a lot of communication from the baseline in general. How important is that going to be for you guys this year? Not just the communication piece, but really keeping the offense moving at all times.
Yeah, it's going to be critical. Having people chase us around, I feel like it'd be really annoying for teams. If we use that to our advantage, I feel like lots of pressure.
Jeff, do you still like this Virginia Wesleyan rivalry? Is this something that will continue?
Well, I definitely like it. I think it's a good thing. Dave and I have a great relationship. Our athletic department and their athletic department, are very familiar and have a great relationship. I could see it continue, but I can't say for sure. That's one thing we'll look at it. There are some new scheduling regulations that the Sun Belt is implementing, and playing a non-D1 is permissible, but we'll just have to see. But again, both with Virginia Wesleyan and Christopher Newport, we've played them at various times in the past. We appreciate them, and they're happy to do it, and it's been a good, whether it's a regular season game like tonight or whether it's at times it's been an exhibition game. But a lot of respect for Dave and the Virginia Wesleyan program.
Next 3 games, a couple of tough places to play and a very tough team coming here.
Oh, I didn't even know Princeton. I know what the next 2 are. I know the next 2. I haven't looked that far, but with Ball State and Arkansas, that's a big trip. That's a big test. Playing a MAC team on the road, that's not an easy task. I don't know a thing about Ball State right now. That'll come tomorrow morning. But looking at having looked at their team from last year, they were a very good defensive team. But anytime you play on the road, and particularly a team that is in the MAC, that's going to be a tough one. And then Arkansas, preseason top 25, and I kind of cringed when I saw that they beat Purdue in one of those secret scrimmages or charity exhibitions, whatever it was. So they're another really, really good team, but we'll worry about them. We got Ball State coming up, and we got to get ready, and we'll have to grow up, and that's the challenge. You've got new guys, young guys, and you go on the road, and you got to be ready. And if you're not, you're take some lumps. And, whether you win or lose, you want to learn, from the experience and get better. That's what this time of year is all about. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.